This is Akashvani Chennai. We bring to you a talk on the importance of English language in today's world. The talk is delivered by Assistant Professor Shri C.Veeran of DG VAISHNAV College, Chennai.
In today's session, the topic which I'm given is an importance of English language in today's world. Certainly, the need of English language will be forever as long as the human being exists in this world. As long as we live, we have to use this language, particularly in English language. Before step into this particular topic, I just want to give a nutshell about the emergence of English language. Of course, this language was emerged in 5th century and up to 12th century, people were very reluctant to use this language. They felt it was a prestigious issue to use English language in public places. Especially the lowly class people from the lowly station, illiterates, uneducated, they were using English language. People from the aristocrat and educated men, rich, they were not ready to use English language. Whereas they were using language like French, German, Latin. So these languages they were using. Of course, after 12th century, people were started accepting English language, especially after the arrival of Chaucer. And of course, Shakespeare, through his play, he wrote so many plays. Through his plays, he introduced so many new English vocabularies. And of course, when Queen Elizabeth I, when she took charge as a ruler of England, she gave a lot of priority for English language. And of course, she spent so many for improvement of growth of English language. So, and again, after that, Dr. Samuel Johnson, he came and of course, he was the first person who compiled the English dictionary. And slowly this language became popular, and of course today it is the global language. Many countries have accepted this language as an official language, and English is given the international language status, of course. Many countries accepted English as an official language, and nearly 1.5 billion people across the continents use it in daily communications. And of course, English language is functioning as bridge language among the speakers of different native tongues, native people. Different countries' people use this as a bridge language. For example, if an Indian wants to talk to a Chinese citizen from China, where he uses English language, the citizen of China to use Indian language, and of course, Indian cannot use Chinese language, where this language functions as a bridge language. And nearly 70 countries recognize English as either an official language or a secondary official language. The language is used in administrative, legal, educational system. Many countries like India, Singapore, South Africa, Kenya. So there are many countries, but these countries are giving more importance for English language. So the language of global organizations like United Nations, World Bank, IMF, UNESCO, WHO, they started giving the proceedings in English language because that is a language which is easily reachable for every part of the world. And even the peace treaties, international laws, diplomatic documents are often first drafted in English language only. English in education and knowledge sharing, academic dominance, of course. When it comes to the academic purpose, where people mainly give priority for English language. Nearly 80% of scholarly journals are published in English language. Most global research is either written or translated into English. So earlier and all, people were not ready to write in English directly. They wrote in other languages like French, German. Later, those works were translated to English. But today it is not like that. Even the international examination like IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, SAT, they assess English proficiency for academic access. English in higher education, top global universities like Harvard, MIT, Oxford, Cambridge, these universities offer English medium courses. So students across Asia, Africa and Europe, they try to seek degrees through English instructions. Even in our country, we have different languages. We have different people who follow their own culture. They follow their own way of life. They follow their own languages, their local, regional medium. They follow that. So here, within our country itself, it's very difficult to use our own language. Whereas English makes it easy. Within our country, we have different states, right? Every state has got its own unique and its own, language, culture. So where in India, this language functions as bridge language. So the same it does across, all over the world. And of course, open access to online learning, English language. Most content on Coursera, EDX, Khan Academy, Udemy, they use English language, right? Of course, this language allows participation in massive open online courses, which is MOOCs we call. So these are increasingly essential in upskilling, of course. So without English language, it's completely impossible. And even the research and publication, when we talk about research and publication, to get international recognition, scholars often, must publish in English language only, in English journal, of course. And access to international research grants, conferences also requires fluency in English. We cannot take our regional language, maybe the language is not given the classic language status, but still it gained the recognition of a global language status, right? So even for economic and career advantages, it helps. Definitely English is a skill in the job market. People are telling it just a language, but it's a skill in the job market. We could see there are people who have so much of other skills, but they get failed in their field because they don't have sufficient language skills. The English language skills. So whatever the skills you have, additionally, of course, I would say primarily English language will help you to go to the next level. That will make you to move further in your career, wherever it is, whatever the field you choose, it doesn't matter. But English is important. So companies in sectors like IT, pharma, aviation, even BPO and media, they are give too much a priority for English language, English skills. Yeah, we can better call it as a skill. Okay. In India alone, English-speaking employees earn nearly 30 to 40% higher salaries than non-English speakers. The reports is given by NCR and ASSOCHAM. They publish the report. People who speak English, they get more salary than the people who don't speak English. And again, global employability. So here, the problem is when they don't accept the English language, they cannot go beyond our geographical boundary. When they accept this language, definitely they go beyond the limit. They go beyond the boundary. Right? It doesn't mean that we shouldn't give importance for the regional language. But I'm talking about the importance of English language. Right? Freelancing sites like Upwork, Freelancer, even C.Veeran, they require communication English. Opens access to remote jobs and internships and international projects. Right? For these and all, we need English language. Right? And definitely for business communications, certainly we have to use English language only. When you want to make your business successful, where you have to take this language, you have to accept this language. So English is the language of international business and of course corporate training. When it comes to the corporate training where people choose or give priority for English language, that'll be easy for them to train the people. And business emails, reports, proposals, and again marketing content they're largely written in English language. In a company, we could see people from different countries, the different states, people use different languages. Where you cannot use your language, your mother language, your mother tongue, you cannot impose that. Where There is a common language which is English. That is why English is an important language in today's world. And when it comes to the leadership and professional growth, professionals with the English fluency are often chosen for client-facing, leadership and managerial roles. Of course, we need English language for these people. And it facilitates global mobility, postings and networking opportunities. If you want to create a network with the people from the other continents, with the people from other countries, where you need English language. Without knowing this language, you cannot create the networking. Only when you're able to create the networking with the other people, you're growing professionally. You're improving your leadership skills. That is why we speak today. English language is important. When you ignore English language, it's very difficult to sustain. Very difficult to stay. And even in media, digital technology, where we need English language, this language dominance in digital content. Nearly 55 to 60% of internet content in English language. English is the leading language on platforms like YouTube, Medium, and TED Talks. And of course, people post videos and logs in their own languages, their mother tongues. But these videos will not go beyond one particular boundary. But whereas English language goes beyond that. Any part of the world, it reaches. So even the programmings, AI languages, computer languages like Python, C++, and HTML use English-based syntax. For these programming and all, we cannot use some other tongue, right? So these programmings are made out of English language, made in English language, created in English language. So when you cite an English language, you cannot accept this. You cannot take this program. You cannot use this software, right? So English are also used in AI training, chatbots, and NLP technologies, right? They use English language only. And again, social media and global trends. Social media today is the largest platform where people share so many things. So when it comes to the social platform where people use English language only, because English is the only way of medium to share our thoughts. People promote their business in social media. People share their culture. People share their way of life in social media that reaches the people who are in the next country, who are in the neighboring country, who are in the neighboring continents. So English is highly important in today's world. Without using English language, no country can function. Of course, people cannot take their life in a better way. So thank you for this opportunity. Have a good day.
You just heard to a talk by Assistant Professor Shri C.Veeran of DG Vaishnav College on the importance of English language in today's world. This program came to you from the studios of Akashvani, Chennai.